Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming in and happy what is even today? Wednesday. Thanks for coming in. Go figure go. Hey man. Jack the VR King. Well, hey Jack. Nico's Pizzeria. Actually, that's weird. There's a Nico's near me in like Schenectady, New York. I doubt that's what you are from. Either way, thanks everybody for coming on in. I've got a guest with me today. This is going to be a really great talk. This really cool, fantastic toy photographer that I know. And it's going to have a lot of really interesting insight that I'm actually really excited to talk to him about. But hey, Cole, how's it going, man?
How's it going? All good?
Cool. Well, thanks for coming in. Thanks for being a member on this silly YouTube thing that I've made. I appreciate you so much, man.
100%. Yeah, glad to be a part of it.
Cool. So, I don't know. Tell me quick a little bit about you, and tell me about Cole's Cave, stuff like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, so I'll start from the beginning. So, pretty unorthodox kind of story getting to UK. So, I was born in South Africa, lived there till I was about 11, came to the UK. And that's when I really started collecting things, like because of my dad, he'd buy me action figures and stuff. So, that set the spark on an early age.
Nice.
Then joined the army. I was in the army for 8 years. Collecting went on a hiatus, was on a pause for obvious reasons. And I always had that spark. So eventually I left the forces last year, September. And then, yeah, just went crazy with just collecting figurines. And I was like, Cole's Cave wasn't a thing yet. So I didn't even have Instagram. And I thought, right, I'm collecting all these figurines. I'm getting a bit older now. So I'm like, I can't. Sometimes I look at my collection, I don't appreciate it. I'm just buying things for the sake of it. So, like, what's one way I can play with toys as an adult? And that was figure photography.
Cool.
And yeah, that's when I created Cole's Cave, and then found you guys and a few others on YouTube, and it just went from there.
That is so cool. Yeah, like toy photography is. I don't know if you're a collector and you've got this fantastic collection. You're like, what the heck do I do with this? I mean, it's cool,
Yeah,
but like sometimes I get these and I'm like, I wish they weren't just chilling collecting dust. So that's
yeah,
when toy photography comes in.
exactly. Yeah, it's
That's
such a
cool.
good hobby. Yeah,
That's cool. So the itch of just like collecting came from your dad
yeah.
getting you figures.
He'd get me and
Cool.
my brother every time we'd see him. He'd get some Marvel Legend, like the old Toy Biz ones. I was
Okay.
like, damn, this is so cool.
Nice.
And yeah, ever since then, I've had the spark just to collect figurines and action figures and stuff. So yeah, it's never stopped. It's my room.
Cool.
You can't really see it, but it's covered in like figurines and stuff. So
I see
yeah,
what I think is the giant man. What is that? The giant man bicep
yeah, he's
for the
holding
hat.
that. So yeah.
Nice. And so he must have just come in for you, right?
When was it? So it was just before MCM Comic Con in London. He arrived. Yeah, the 25th of October, I think he came. And then
Cool.
we
All
went to
right.
London Comic Con with like it's Dan Who and the Who crew. And we saw him there get unboxed live with Dwight Stoll. So it was awesome. So yeah,
Cool. Cool.
so
And
cool.
so is I've never backed a HasLab before
Okay.
ever. There's been actually the one that gave me the biggest temptation was Galactus, which is weird because I'm not
Yeah. I'm looking
for
at him
me I
right
would
now.
have thought a Star Wars one, but I love Galactus.
Yeah.
So what do you think is Giant Man? Has he been worth the X100 amount?
Well, speaking of Galactus, I'm looking at him here. So I've got Galactus staring at me.
Oh, okay, man.
He's my favorite Marvel Legend. Giant Man, he's good, but there's a lot of QC issues with the hands and the eyes.
I heard about that.
So with me, I'm lucky. I got my eyes are decent. The hands haven't broke because I heat them up in like a hot cup of water. But other than that, yeah, he's a really good figure. But I just backed it because of the hype, and I was like, I'm going to regret not getting it, so I may as well get it for my Avengers, and that's it. So yeah, it's a pretty good figure, but it's not my favorite.
Right,
Yeah,
gotcha. Looks good in the on the shelf amongst the others.
yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay, so I have to ask because you kind of teased it before, but you have this fantastic golden era of cartoons, Cartoon Network poster back there,
Yep,
which we got Dexter, Cow and Chickens on there, Johnny Bravo. I mean, it is missing Ed and Eddie, which
exactly. My favorites. My
right,
favorites.
it's
Yeah,
like that's like the Mount Rushmore of Cartoon Network.
that was
Uh,
my generation as well. That was just my go to. So
Nice. We must be like around the same age. I was born in '92.
Okay, so I'm 97, so I'm only
Okay,
like, yeah, so I'm only good. I'm turning 28
interesting.
soon, so yeah.
I thought
But
the
still, that generation was like around when we were kids. So
yeah.
yeah.
That's okay. So you said you had like an interesting story behind that poster, and I'm really
Yeah,
curious.
so I had this poster for quite a while, and I'd never heard about Super 7. So ever since I started collecting, I got into Super 7. So
I'm spotlighting you, by the way,
yeah,
so
no
you can
worries.
see
So
that
you can
poster.
kind of see I've got all the spots. You can see Sandy.
Oh
I've got
yeah,
all
yeah.
the SpongeBob characters. So I'm like, that's also my childhood. So if they're making all the SpongeBob characters, why Super 7 would be the best to make these characters?
Oh my
Ed
god.
and Eddie, Dexter, Courage, Johnny Bravo. So I emailed them when I was working in London, doing close protection for some rich dude. And I had a lot of spare time, so I was just
Cool.
emailing, and I eventually got a response. Whatever team replied to me with Super 7, they said they've taken the ideas on board and they're going to pass it up. But I sent that email about 3 times to 3 different people, so hopefully, and it was all a different response. It wasn't like an automated response. They were like, "Good ideas, we'll pass this on." So hopefully, fingers crossed, one day we get these characters.
Oh my
So
goodness
yeah,
gracious.
so
That
yeah,
would be I would certainly get every single one of
me
those.
too.
Because
Me
they
too.
Super 7, I think, really did a great job with the SpongeBob. I mean, a lot of the comments that I've seen about them are sometimes complaining that they're overpriced, whatever, but in the end, they're really awesome, and
They are
I love
awesome,
them.
yeah, and it's
Like
nostalgia as well. So yeah,
Ed and Eddie and Dexter.
yeah,
Oh my god!
and
Like
we need those. We need them.
it's interesting. I wonder how much because none of those cartoons are nearly as big as SpongeBob.
Yeah,
SpongeBob is, probably bigger than all of them combined, even
yeah,
though I love them all. So I wonder if they think about stuff like that, if it's like worth diving
yeah.
into.
I think it should be worth it because they've made some really like deep cut characters from cartoons, which I've never heard of. So they should definitely make these characters, and
Yeah,
they
I
won't lose
agree.
money. They'll make loads of money. So yeah,
Yeah, man, that would be great. Dexter, Dee
Dexter,
Dee.
Dee Dee, Ed and Eddie. Yeah,
That's a lot too, man.
yeah,
Cool. Well, I would be first up to do that, and
same.
it's around that time too, where us, people, adults, who were kids then, now have the money to buy it.
Yeah,
That would be
definitely.
huge.
Yeah,
Super 7. Actually, one of them, somebody from them reached out to me recently. Nothing
nice.
crazy,
Yeah,
but maybe I will. I don't know. Mention the same thing.
do it. Yeah. I was lucky enough to get a like. When they liked one of my photos with SpongeBob and Squidward, I was like, "Oh damn, that's awesome." They
Cool.
like the photos, so yeah,
So
made me feel great. Yeah,
speaking of that photo with SpongeBob and Squidward, I'm gonna pull that up. So, if you're not following Cole on Instagram, you certainly should be. So here he is right here. It's Cole's Cave. Pretty
yep,
easy. Cole's Cave
yep,
on Instagram. He's even got the blue check mark,
yep.
which
I
that's
had to
pretty
do
cool.
that. Yeah.
I've been thinking about it. I've got, I changed my profile picture now with my face on there, so I'm like I could do it, but
Yeah,
uh,
I did it for just that extra layer of support and security. So yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
that alone will probably be worth it.
yeah,
So this here we go. Speaking of the Super 7, so they liked this one.
yep. That's the one
That's
I
pretty
liked.
cool. That's a
Yeah,
great it's always some great recognition when you see somebody like that who actually
yeah,
like it. And then
yeah,
also
exactly.
like that feels to me it's good to know that Super 7 is aware of this and they're looking out and noticing people are doing this kind of thing,
Definitely.
that makes me feel good that they're
Yeah, 100%.
because I feel like a
Yeah,
lot of companies are just like they're not, I don't know, not
yeah.
as
I know what you mean.
progressive.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's awesome. But this is a fantastic shot. This is a
yeah,
really great shot. Lighting is on point.
yeah. It was
The
a quick one as
splash.
well. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, tell me about it. Tell me
So
about the setup and all of that.
literally, I was having a tough week at work, just draining because of what I do at the moment, and I was like, I need an espresso. But what I was like, but I want to do a figure photography idea. But like, what characters resemble the effects of caffeine? So I was like, SpongeBob looks like he's always fueled on caffeine, and Squidward looks like he desperately needs caffeine. So I'm like, I'll just get these two. and the tripod was like set up in the kitchen, all the lighting around it. That's literally my kitchen with the biscuits and the sugar at the back and all that. And then
Nice.
I dropped some stuff into the coffee. Not all of it is the practical effect. There's some AI stuff in there with the drops.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool. Tell me about
yeah,
that. Was that the generative fill in
yeah.
Photoshop?
So the actual coffee itself, where the initial splashes is real, but then I like where the droplets are, I just put that as like a generative or the
Oh, okay.
AI aware fill, yeah, and that's what
Cool.
it gave me. But it has distorted SpongeBob's arm a little bit, but I didn't notice until I uploaded it, and I was like,
Oh, I
damn.
see.
But it's not too noticeable. So yeah,
No, honestly, I don't. Even if you do notice it, it makes sense because it's through
yeah,
a warped
exactly.
glass
That's what I tell
thing. So
myself. Yeah, that's
it
how I
makes a lot of sense.
justify it. Yeah,
Makes a lot of sense. And I love this face on Squidward. I have
Hmm.
never. Oh no, I did use it once for a photo, and yeah, this is it's such a great face.
It's
I'm
such a
glad you
good
were
figure.
able to.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. So, yeah.
Cool.
But
So yeah,
what
this shot is absolutely
and
fantastic.
it was the first time using like you've mentioned it before a lot in your videos, like using like stuff at home and like stuff in the kitchen or anywhere with figurines, and it was like the most fun I had. It's like just more genuine. It was just great. So I want to do more like that. Like I've got an idea with Cuphead with a glass of milk, shooting the things into the glass of milk with the milk
Okay,
exploding. So that's
cool.
something I'm going to try soon. So yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, there's
yeah,
something I think really charming about that because I think, at least in my mind, it's like, yeah, these are toys, and this is toy photography, and this is
yeah,
you're absolutely embracing the fact that these are toys.
yeah, yeah,
And I love that.
yeah.
Um,
Me too.
hey, the regulator, thank you so much. Love you too. But and it's also what I love about this too is that if you don't have a lot of accessories and dioramas and stuff at home, you can kind
Yeah,
of just take advantage of that
yeah,
and just embrace it and do stuff like this. And it ends up being, I think, really fun, really, really
definitely,
fun.
definitely, yeah,
And you're not limiting yourself. You can go and do um, whatever you want. So cool. I'm glad
yeah,
if you feel the same way about that. Cool.
yeah,
With Cuphead. Cuphead, I've seen like I don't know screenshots or videos of the
yeah.
game, and it looks really cool and like super stylized, but I've never
It's a
played it.
really hard game. Yeah,
It's
really difficult.
a PC game?
You can play it on the PC, but it's designed for PlayStation and Xbox. It's just a rage-inducing game, so I tend to stay away from it.
Oh
But I
man.
just love the characters. I watched the show on Netflix, the Cuphead show, and that's brilliant.
Oh,
It's a great
okay.
show. I highly recommend it, man. You probably like it. It's cool.
I think I just really like the old, like it's like 1920s
Yeah,
looking
it is.
style. Like I
And
think
the
that's
music,
cool. I
yeah,
think that's
it's
really
cool.
cool. Hey, Justin says, Cole, you're killing it.
Oh, just Justin collects. Yeah, I've spoke to Justin a few times on another live stream that we're a part of. So yeah, Justin's a good guy.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, Justin, we love you, man. And thank you. Go figure, go. Appreciate that as well, man. So one of the things, and this is what I labeled the video as, is where do you get your figures? Where does he get his toys?
yeah,
And I'm curious to ask this because you're over in the UK,
yep.
and anytime I make a video, I'm like, here's where I get it. This and that doesn't necessarily always apply to anyone who's overseas. So I'm super curious as to like how you get your figures, where you go, like how do you do that over there?
So our main sites we get stuff from, in regards to like Marvel Legends, it will be Hasbro Pulse.
Okay, directly.
And there's so many websites like Comics and Cocktails, Props and Replicas. A lot of the guys in the UK will know these sites. When it comes to import stuff, I get my stuff from Hobby Link Japan.
Oh,
Um,
I've never heard of that one.
yeah, it's quite a good one. If not, my main shop I go to is Comics and Cocktails. They do loads. So they do
Cool.
everything. So that's like Big Bad Toy Store for the UK. So yeah,
Really? Comics
yeah.
and cocktails, is like that probably like one of the number one
I would say
sites?
Comics and Cocktails, Props and Replicas, and In Demand Toys. They're really good. So yeah,
Interesting. I've never
yeah,
even heard of that.
Hmm.
I honestly was just kind of under the impression that um Big Bad Toy Store and stuff like was also big over there too, because they do have international shipping,
Yeah,
right? But or is it
I
just
bought a few
like
things from there. I'm still waiting on the loose collector Mr. Hyde, the exclusive one.
okay,
It's like this massive horror character, so I'm waiting for him to ship. But I bought a few things from Big Bad Toy Store, but the shipping's expensive. So yeah,
right? That's what I was assuming that it was probably a little bit more.
yeah,
And then my next question too was like, oh, maybe the import sites like AmiAmi or Hobby Genki. I'm assuming they're probably the same too, because
yeah, yeah. I know
technically
those
the
sites.
UK is closer, probably right, to Japan than US is.
Probably is. Yeah, yeah,
Unless you,
yeah.
which direction it, I don't,
It depends. They might go around the globe to get. Yeah, so who knows?
right, which way?
Yeah,
Nat boy, apparently that's helpful for Nat. Cool.
yeah. No worries, in that.
And Pan Man, thank you. Yes, if you are watching, hit the like and subscribe. I appreciate that very much. um, cool. And so, what about like in person? Like, because you guys don't have Walmart or
Yeah.
or
So with
Target,
me,
right?
so Friday I'm going out with the missus, and we usually go to Forbidden Planet. So there's a comic shop called Forbidden Planet. Um,
I've been to the one in London before, a couple
I've been there a
times
few
actually.
times. I used to go there
Nice.
all the time when I worked there. Um,
Oh, when
so
you
yeah,
worked in London,
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
you worked at the. Gotcha.
yeah, yeah. I live in a place called Stoke-on-Trent. It's like the Shire in Lord of the Rings, like hobbits and that. So it's like
Cool.
countryside, trees and that. So it's decent. Um, but yeah, I have access to a Forbidden Planet near me. Um, I don't know. That's really it. To be fair, there's not a lot of places that sell
Man,
big like action figures and toys that are coming out. Usually, it's stuff we buy online or pre-order online,
right.
Amazon and eBay. So that's it. But yeah,
We're
Forbidden Planet's
we're
the main one.
we're very fortunate over here in the
Yeah,
US
definitely, you guys
to
are.
have
Yeah,
all that.
yeah,
We need to be aware of how good we've got it.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But there's a Forbidden Planet in New York City too,
Oh,
actually.
cool.
I don't
Nice.
know if anywhere else, and so I'm really close to the city, so I go there pretty often.
Awesome.
It's about the same size, I think, as the one in London,
Yeah,
but
it's quite big as well. The underground comic book side of things as well. It's like
right, you can go right
crazy.
downstairs. And do they still
Yeah,
have? They had a big Fallout guy,
yeah.
the Vault Boy down there,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I don't remember seeing that, but that would have been awesome
I
to see
remember
that.
taking a picture with him.
So yeah. Oh man.
Cool. And actually, speaking of Fallout, I was just on your Instagram and you met Ella Purnell
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Fall.
Me and my girlfriend went to go to Comic Con.
That's
Such a great
awesome.
weekend, so good. And then we met her. You had to pay to get a photo, but
Right.
yeah. And like they had like certain lines we had to stand next to her because you can't get too close, or you can't like Um,
Right. Of course.
I,
Right.
I saw the line straight away, and I stood next to her, and I was like, and then me and my girlfriend afterwards, I was like, "There's a little gap there," and then, like she didn't see the line properly, so she's a bit away.
A little
Um,
bit. Right.
but yeah, but I saw it straight away. Like I'm gonna get in there and get close.
That's
But yeah, she's a
cool.
lovely person. Like we spoke to her very briefly, um,
I'm
and yeah,
sure.
she's really
I'm sure
cool. She's
you'll get
amazing
it.
in Fallout as well. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I saw that and I was like, nice. Cool.
yeah,
Okay.
it was
I
awesome. One of the highlights for sure.
I've never gone through like I've been to a bunch of conventions, but I've never gone through like waited in line to meet someone and pay and stuff. I imagine it's just like it's so quick and like,
Yeah, it's
but
pretty quick.
it's worth it.
It's
I mean,
worth
I
it. It's
guess it
just a
depends on
memory.
who, right?
Because me and my girlfriend love watching everything with her in it. We watched a show called Sweet Pea, where she's like a serial killer.
Right. I wanted to watch that.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. It's
What is
so
that
good.
on again? Oh, it's probably
We
different
watched
for
it
you.
on, I don't even know. I can't remember now. I think it's Prime or Netflix. I think it's Netflix. Yeah,
Okay.
it should be on Netflix. It's really good, really good. So yeah,
Here, Pan Man's got a question, and I'll send this over to you as well.
okay.
Cole. So he says, before I go, do you have any recommendations for any figures to get? Because my budget is like 100. Well,
Mm.
actually, $100. That's a pretty great budget for a figure. That's for sure.
Yeah,
So
depends what he's
Pan Man,
into. Yeah.
yeah, it depends on what you're into, but I don't know, Cole. What would be your go-to if your budget's 100?
Well, at the moment, I'm really into Star Wars. And speaking of budget, I got two here I bought today.
Oh,
Just
some
some
Black Series. Oh,
stormtroopers. Yeah.
Incinerator.
So yeah, him.
Oh, and the what's the yellow guy's name?
That's
Mortar
the
Troopers?
artillery dude with like
Artillery
mortars
dude.
and stuff.
That's the
And
official name.
I've the spark for me is ignited with Black Series, Stormtroopers, Clone Troopers,
Oh man,
droids. So
deep hole.
that's what I'm spending my money on now. $100, I'll get 4 Clone Troopers. So yeah,
Nice, cool. I think, and there's some clone trooper army building packs coming. At least
yeah,
there's like one with a battle droid, I think, right?
got that one. Yeah, that's came. Yeah, there's
Cool.
quite a
So
few
that would
coming
be
out.
great.
Yeah,
So I mean, yeah, Pan Man. I guess it depends on what you're into. So yeah, let us, if you're still in, let us know what you're into. Maybe we can give you some more specifics. But when you got 100, you could pretty much get just about any 1/12 scale figure.
yeah,
Depending on which one you get, you might be able to get just one,
yeah.
depending. But
Mayfix.
$100 is a great budget
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Let's see, the most recent one that I have got, I just actually got the Jar Jar Binks figure arts that just
Oh,
came
nice,
out. I
nice,
just I'm almost done editing the video for it. That's coming out tomorrow.
awesome.
So that's it's a really great figure, especially if you love the Phantom Menace and you love Jar Jar.
Yeah,
It's a great figure.
yeah, definitely. I'm watching all the films in chronological order now. So yeah,
Cool. All right. So
yeah.
which
Really
are,
getting
are
into it.
which one are you currently on, or
So
in
we
the?
finished. So I watched Solo, Rogue One, and New Hope. Now we're on. Is it which one's after New Hope? See, I haven't really been big into Star Wars until recently. Is it
Okay,
Empire
yeah,
Strikes Back?
Empire Strikes Back is next.
Watching that tonight. So yeah,
Cool. All right.
yeah,
Well, man, have a great time. I know you will.
yeah, definitely.
Panman. All right. Cool. I'm glad that helps. I'm glad it helps. Good luck with your stuff. Uncle
Awesome.
Bink is excited for the Binks for sure. Cool. All right. Well, tell me about this shot. You just posted this one today, didn't you? Yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. I don't know. I just thought, because I bought my most recent purchase was the Billy Butcher Mayfix from Mayfix.
Great
I
figure.
thought, I want to take a shot of him, but I want to do like a team up, like in my reality, because I love the multiverse. I love just mixing up stuff, and like if I wanted a team to do a hostage rescue, it'll be these guys. So like Predator, Mando, John Wick, and the Amazing Spider-Man. Like
It's certainly a solid team, and you got from all over the place. You're like, it's totally out there. I love that.
Yeah, awesome.
And that's one of the things about toy photography that is so that sucks you in, is because there's no limits. And if you want to have a team of Mando, Billy Butcher, Spider-Man, John Wick, and Predator, you can do that if you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I don't think anyone would stop them. They'd win every time.
No, I don't know. Well, I mean, unless you throw somebody in at Superman level power, then you might.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
All right. So, if I were to have a team of 5? Well, Mando would probably be in there.
Definitely. Yep.
I mean, it's just, well, I guess if I'm thinking, if I really want to just I could pick Superman, Goku, Dr. Manhattan.
Dude, yeah.
That would be unfair, but that's definitely something fun to think about for sure. That'd be a cool challenge idea too.
It would be like a multiverse team up. Yeah.
A team up. Okay. Yeah. All right. I like that.
Yep.
Well, yeah, this is cool. And so tell me about the shot though. Getting this many characters and figures in focus all together is pretty tough sometimes. So tell me how you pulled that off.
What I did, I took multiple photos with different focus points and just layered them all together on Photoshop.
Oh.
So Predator was out of focus, John Wick was out of focus, Spider-Man was out of focus. So literally just took a shot tapping on each one of them and just photo stacked the whole thing into one layer, and it worked really well. Refined the edges, got rid of a lot of the necessary stuff, and it worked pretty well.
Nice. Yeah, it's I never would have been able to tell that that's how you did that.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out perfect. You did
Thanks,
a fantastic job.
Thanks.
But one of the things I think is hardest about doing that sometimes is if you're putting the focused Predator on top of the out of focus Predator.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get those edges that because of the depth of field is slightly wider or something. So sometimes you gotta get rid of little bits and stuff. That's hard.
Yeah, so that happened a lot with this photo, but all I did was just erase a tool around the edges just to get that crisp edge, and it worked really well. So,
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. It really did come out perfect. One
Thanks,
thing
man.
that I've tried to do sometimes is if I do plan on doing that from the start, I'll take a shot like without Predator
Yeah.
there. Just so then
Yeah.
he's not there at all to get in the way of me putting him in there.
Yeah. 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 I
But
know what
then
you
it
mean.
becomes more risky because what if I knock it all over and screw it up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it came out great. It came out great. And
Thanks, man.
it's certainly a cool concept to think about. Like, all right, who
Yeah,
am
it's
I
one of
gonna
my
have?
favorites I've done so far.
Cool. All right. I honestly might steal that idea, like
Take it. Yeah, take
team
it.
up, your top
Yeah.
5 team up or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk about is so this is a shot of you. This is your first post.
Yeah, with my phone ages ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what toy photography was back then, really.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't even seem like ages ago. It's only back in March. It's less than a year.
Yeah. And I
And then
literally, yeah, took that photo on, like, I had a bit of time off work and I came home. It was Christmas time and I had this figure and I just left
right.
it for months. I thought I'll come home in March and I just took a photo of him on my shelf and that was it. Didn't know what toy photography really was. I just thought he looks cool. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it is like it's a pretty cool shot. I mean, it is even objectively it is. But
Yeah.
like for you to go from here in March and then not very long after, less than a year ago, you're getting stuff that looks like this. Like
Yeah.
how did that happen? It's just like
So
it's
yeah, I know.
a huge
I
difference.
was studying a lot. I was just, and I'll say I was it was your videos. It was amusing kings, and some other
Cool.
dudes that do Photoshop tutorials and editing tutorials on YouTube. I was just studying that over and over and over again because I didn't have the camera yet to do it. So I was just studying everything. I bought Photoshop, and then I got my DSLR camera, which is a Canon EOS 250D.
Oh, okay. I've got
So I
one.
used,
That exact camera.
yeah, and then this was my first proper like attempt at like creating a scene from a memory I have as a teenager. Like it relates to real life. So I thought I'm gonna use these characters in a photo. I create the diorama myself, which I actually have. I'll grab it quickly.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That just adds to making this even more impressive.
So yeah, that's
Wow, and
it.
it's got hinges?
Yep, I glued the hinges in everything to make the
That is
diorama.
so impressive. What's the brick made of?
It's just paper from Amazon, like wallpaper.
Oh, really? Wow. It looks
Yeah,
like it's got
same as the
texture and everything
flooring.
to it.
So yeah,
That is so impressive. And
yeah.
like Miguel over here said he knew that you built it.
Thanks.
But
But yeah, it was my first attempt at it. Like I really wanted to give it 100%. And there's little things that didn't come out right, but I didn't know about like all the different. This was my first time really using Photoshop, so I was like testing and adjusting a lot of things, and it took ages to get this photo right. But when it did, it's my most liked photo. It's almost at 300 now, and I was like, holy crap, this is taken off for me at least, based on the
well,
followers I have. It was really good.
there's so many things about it that are first of all, conceptually, it's like
Mm.
really fun. The idea is
Yeah,
super fun and like it's a great thing that anybody can look at this and be like, "Ha, nice. Look at these guys
yeah,
chilling." Like that alone is great. And that's, the idea is always super hard to
yeah,
get something good. And so the lighting is really great. So like not only everyone is lit well, but you've got super like diegetic lighting where it's coming from the TV, you got stuff coming from the windows and the arcade,
yeah,
and it all looks good.
yeah. The behind the
Like
scenes was on one of my stories. So all I did is I had a little Lumcube blue light in front of the TV, which I photoshopped out. So and then I did the clone tool to make like it look like the floor is still there. And then I just put another couple of Lumcube lights behind the windows, just to bring in that atmosphere. And then I had 2 side lights, and that was it. And yeah, so yeah,
it's crazy. It's amazing how well it lit everyone
yeah,
in the photo.
yeah. I'm really
All
happy with this one. It's my favorite. Like, it's not the favorite I've done, but it's one of the ones because it's my first attempt. It's one of my favorites. I love this photo. So yeah.
it really is quite amazing to like you said, like you didn't have any. Did you have any other types of experience with
I've never
photography and editing stuff?
so my whole time, even in the army, never thought about it. I had a few mates who liked photography. I was like, nah, not for me. They're nature photographers. I just never thought about it until I thought, because the reason why I got into it as well is leaving the forces was quite hard, um, and just adjusting to being a civilian again. Even though the career transition has been really good, so I'm in a industry called close protection, and we just protect high profile people around England. And I needed
Really
something
cool.
to keep me focused because I have really bad ringing of the ears. Bad, it's called tinnitus or tinnitus. And I
Gotcha.
needed something to focus on. And I just like it was just a spark when I seen people do this kind of stuff. I was like, I love action figures. I've never done photography, so I'm gonna go head first into this and just see what I can do. And it's been amazing mentally just to be a part of this community and this hobby, and it's helped my ears. So my ears, I don't sleep a lot, so it's like helps me focus. So it's great.
That's
So
that's amazing, man.
yeah,
Like that's so cool. I can imagine, especially you said you were in the army for 8 years.
eight in the
And
British, yeah, in an infantry regiment as well for 8 years. So it's very loud. So yeah,
yeah, and so I can imagine, I can only imagine adjusting from that for 8 years
Mm.
to just being like a civilian.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's so cool. Toy photography.
it helped.
That's so I'm super glad to hear that. That's so
Yeah,
incredible. And I mean, you've certainly done an incredible job. Like
thanks, man. I appreciate that.
it's like this was only how many months, and how what the heck is your photo stuff
Mm.
gonna look like in another year?
That's
You
what
know,
I
like,
always think to myself is like what can I improve and how much better can I get? Like
well,
there's there's so many guys on Instagram that are just unreal at like the stuff they do, and it's like my
it's true.
next thing I want to experiment with is using digital backgrounds with my gaming monitor. So that's what I'm
Cool.
gonna dabble into next. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it certainly is a it's another new avenue of being able to create things.
yeah,
But yeah, you've done it's incredible with what you've done. And so when you said the digital background, this is actually kind of what I was assuming
that,
was for
yeah.
this one. So how did you
That's the
what's the
giant
background?
man box.
Right.
That's the box he
Oh,
came with.
that's the box behind him?
Yeah, yeah, that's the box. Yeah,
That's wow.
yeah, yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
about keeping saving your boxes and putting them to good use.
And even on Photoshop, I did the sky replacement thing.
Oh,
It didn't look good, so the sky on the box was better. So I just kept the one on the box. So yeah, so yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah,
Really great job. Crazy. This was your pumpkin challenge, right?
yeah. That my
Yes.
girlfriend helped me with that one a lot as well because she loves Coraline,
Cool.
and I really like Sam from Trick or Treat. So I was like,
Both are great.
yeah. So we just combined those ideas together, and we came up with this. Yeah, it was great.
It makes me wonder, like, if Sam would end up getting mad at, like, because I
Mm,
know, like, Sam will get pissed off if you're
yeah,
not like celebrating
yeah,
Halloween, right?
yeah. And
Wonder if
like
Sam.
Coraline can feel that something's behind her staring at her, so she's a bit wary what
Yeah,
she's gonna do with the pumpkin. And that pumpkin's real, by the way. It's
it
this
looks
little
like a
one
real
right here.
pumpkin.
This
Oh,
little
cool.
one.
You still got it?
Yeah, yeah. It hasn't gone
Wow.
rotten yet, so it's
Once
definitely
it
real.
it's once you cut it open is
Yeah,
when it rots real fast.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So I love this one. Actually, I remember when I saw this one of yours, I really was. It was something that really stopped. Like I was scrolling and like, oh, this is a cool one. Like this is
Yeah.
something that.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
Um,
that was so much fun. Like, I tend to sometimes I forget to post the behind the scenes, but the photo behind the scenes looks so terrible. Like like sticks everywhere and blue, like sticky tack, and it just didn't look good. And I use just a white background, like that. That's all like the sky replacement fill on Photoshop.
okay,
But the floor is real diorama. The rock on the bottom right is real. But the rock on the far left is Photoshop as well, AI, just to create depth.
nice.
But yeah, that shot was so fun, and I love the Street Fighter figures. I'm all in on the Jada Street Fighter line. I'm gonna
Okay,
get all
that's
of
the
them.
Jada one. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jada does really great work.
yeah, they're awesome, so good. Yeah,
Cool. So that sky is from the sky replacement.
yep,
That's interesting because when I use the sky replacement a lot too, but I never use any of the others. Like I just use the basic blue sky. I never
yeah,
use any of the other ones. So it's cool to see like um it in use like this, and it
yeah,
works great.
yeah. And I put some stars in there as well, like little like sparkly stars and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, just to give it a bit more. I don't know, a bit more like oomph. Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah, yeah, a little bit of pizzazz
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. So, the shots also lit really well. Like,
Yeah,
there's you got great rim lighting on both the Sentinel and the what's the name of the Street Fighter guy?
that's Dulcin. Dulcin.
Dolphin. He's the
Dulcin. Yeah.
stretchy guy, and he says, hyper,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hyper
That's it.
uppercut.
Yeah. The one thing I did struggle with a lot is overexposing my photos. So sometimes I look at them like it's a bit too exposed, like with little white highlights. But I try and reduce that quite a bit with a burn tool. It works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. But
Oh, okay.
one thing I'm working on is not overexposing my photos, but I'm getting there slowly. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, and you've already been doing it for a while, but after you've been doing like the same thing for a while, like it just like your you'll just your brain will automatically
Yeah.
just push the right buttons, and you'll be
Yeah.
so used to it.
Definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, the lighting is really great, and I love the motion blur on
Yeah.
his arm. Like
Yeah.
that's
I
really
motion blurred his fist, and I did originally motion blur the Sentinel's head, but it didn't look great. So I just thought I'd AI the sparks in there because it was
cool.
indoors.
Okay.
It was I would take most of my shots in my room, and yeah, just the motion blur just gave it that little bit of like that tweak just to make it look like something's actually happening in the photo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love your use of the generative fill because you can kind of it's super easy to go like buck wild and
Yeah.
just do so much with that. And I myself sometimes I'm like I'm using this too much. I don't want to,
Mm,
but like
yeah.
just like when you're taking it and using it to like really just enhance the thing you've already created, I think that's
Yeah.
like the perfect, in my opinion,
Yeah.
way to use
A
it.
little bit here and there goes a long way. So yeah.
Yeah, it does. Not and I'm not by any means saying that too much use of it is not good because
Yeah.
it's a great tool. It's a great
Yeah.
tool.
Definitely.
I certainly use it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a in this
Mhm.
gift that Johnny put in there, fatality.
Yeah. He's awesome. He's so funny, and he's got great photos as well. All the
Yeah,
horrors.
yeah,
Yeah.
he does. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's definitely made a great impression on like just about everybody. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, really a great dude. Um, this one.
Yeah.
So what? This looks like a digital background.
That is actually just again Photoshop. I generated the image of a grocery shopping.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. It's wow.
On a separate layer, and I just
It
blended them all
looks
in. So yeah.
it looks really good, and the way the figures are lit, it feels like they're in
Yeah. It's
they're
crazy
in the
because
store.
the AI fill kind of like takes in your lighting to consideration as well.
Right.
So it's amazing. But yeah, I'm
And
happy with this one.
this is another example of like
Mhm.
your you know the multiverse and doing
Exactly.
whatever, adding whoever you want in the photo.
Yeah.
And yeah, you definitely have a great way of choosing just
Yeah. It's just
they
yeah.
may be random, but they're not so random because they kind of were all fit really
Yeah.
well.
I tried to get them like NECA mainly. Like I tried to get that theme, and the Muppets were from Diamond Select. I just
Right.
thought I just combine these. Like it doesn't really make sense, but in my head, they're like they're babysitting baby Sinclair the dinosaur, and they've taken him to a grocery market, and the chef's gone mental and bought beers and cooking weapons, like well knives, and but so it's just like, and the Frankenstein doesn't understand what's going on, so he's like, yeah, let's go with it, and
He's
then
just having a fun time.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I love it. I really love
mm,
it. It's such
thanks,
a good
man.
one. Now, honestly, you've got so many fantastic ones. All right, here we go. This one
Yeah,
was the jar challenge,
yep, it was, yeah,
and I remember being really impressed with the way the creature from the Black Lagoon was lit in that
yeah,
jar.
yeah. So that one was a separate photo, so I layered into there. So that creature from the Black Lagoon in the jar was just a separate photo. Um, like what you said before about taking a photo without the predator in, and then that's what I pretty much did because the lighting I had on Mando and Grogu was too much on the jar, so I just
Right.
did a separate photo with less lighting and kind of like blended it in with the post edits and stuff just to make it look like it's there.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's so it looks really good. And did you have to like put anything over the creature of the Black Lagoon to make him?
nope, he was just
Man.
in the jar. Yeah, just in the jar.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, I got you. I was thinking that you had him totally separate. Cool.
Oh no, no,
Yeah,
no, he was just in the jar on his own. Yeah,
it is really perfect, and I love the eye contact that Grogu
yeah,
and the creature are both making.
yeah.
Um, I wonder if Grogu is thinking he's a frog that he can eat.
That was my thinking as
Right.
well. Yeah,
Cool. Yeah. All right.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
And that's what
Yeah.
sparked my Star Wars journey was Mandalorian. Because of that show, I'm now
Okay.
obsessed. I'm
Was
obsessed.
and so that was the first Star Wars you had watched. Period.
When I was a kid, I'd watched like the prequels, and I haven't really seen like the original ones, so I'm watching those. But then the Mandalorian series was like just it blew me away. I was like, because it's kind of like the Star Wars, kind of like special forces. It's like this brotherhood, the Mandalorian. So that really took to me,
Okay. So
and I was like,
you connected with that kind of.
yeah, yeah, and I was like, this is awesome. Because I'd worked with those guys in the UK, like not myself being special forces, but I've worked with some of the guys in the UK, and it just seemed that kind of brotherhood. They're just awesome, like operators, just going in and just doing missions and stuff. So
That's really cool.
yeah, that just
That's so cool.
kickstarted the spark for me to love Star Wars. So yeah,
Awesome. Well, I'm super excited to hear that. And so this will be the first time. So this will be the first time for you watching Empire Strikes Back tonight, like ever.
properly, yeah, yeah, ever.
Oh, okay. I thought this
Yeah.
was like a rewatch for you.
No.
That's so exciting.
Yeah,
Well, this one, Empire Strikes Back, is pretty widely thought of as the best Star Wars
okay.
movie.
I look forward to that.
It's not my favorite. It's one of. I mean, I love them all very much,
Yeah.
but this is the one most like when people usually say, "Oh, what's your favorite?" People usually say Empire.
What is your favorite? Which one's your favorite movie?
The Phantom Menace is my favorite for sure.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah, it's.
I really liked Rogue One as well. Rogue One is brilliant.
Rogue One is great. Like,
Yeah.
I love them all, and I don't want to necessarily say that Phantom Menace is the best one, but
Yeah.
it's definitely my favorite. And like, I was 7, so my brothers and I had grown up, just watching like the original trilogy, the VHSs, and so I was 7 when the Phantom Menace came out, and just like a 7-year-old seeing Jar Jar Binks and Darth Maul for the first time is just absolutely captivating.
Yeah, Darth Maul is amazing. Like the lightsaber duels are so cool. Yeah.
Oh, Nat Boy says it is the best. All right. I mean, it's my favorite, and I agree it is the best, but awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
Darth Maul is a badass. He's so awesome. Like just the fighting style. He's so like up in your face, like intimidating.
Yeah, he's just the ultimate. Like, you can't think this guy's so cool. He's totally is. But actually, right now, I think my favorite Star Wars thing is The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
It's my favorite. Season 2 is just like the first episode of season 2 is just so awesome. I love that episode so much, and it's just like, and you'll probably when you go and watch all the other movies and maybe the animated show and stuff, like that first episode of season 2 was the first time I ever felt like, wow, all of this Star Wars stuff, the movies, the shows, the cartoons, and all of that, they really are connected. Like, it was just the perfect marriage of everything, and I was like, wow, this I'm getting a little taken away.
It was a show I was like, I very rarely get emotionally invested and attached to a film or series, and this, like with Grogu and Mando, like the last episode of season 3, I was like emotional. I was like, this is the end. This is the end of the adventure with Grogu, and like he adopts him. I'm like, holy crap! I'm actually getting emotional about this. It was so. I loved it. It was so great.
Yeah, can't love them.
So yeah,
it's crazy because like you see Mando loving Grogu so much, and because you yourself as the viewer love Grogu, it makes you love Mando.
Yeah,
because he loves Grogu so much, so it makes you love him because he also loves Grogu.
that's 100%. That's the way I felt. Yeah.
So, Go Figure Go says Spaceballs has better changed my mind. So, once you watch the original trilogy, if you're feeling something fun, go watch Spaceballs. It's literally a spoof movie of especially A New Hope.
Okay, I'll definitely.
It's funny.
In mind,
It's very, very funny. Comic down. We'll move on from the Star Wars tangent soon. He says, I like all the Star Wars. New Hope will always be my favorite, but then the Phantom Menace and then Empire. Okay, great.
Awesome.
That's interesting. I've never seen I think that order of favorites, but I mean, it doesn't matter what your order is. And yes, it does have lightsabers. I think just about every Star Wars movie has a lightsaber at least once.
Yeah,
Right?
Ahsoka and Mando. Yeah, you see hers, and
Yeah,
Luke
I
Skywalker.
guess Andor is the only. I don't think there is a lightsaber in that show at all.
Yeah, that's one I want to watch. Andor. I really want to watch that series.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
it's wonderful. I think that's the only thing I can think of that doesn't have a lightsaber anywhere. Yeah, even Book of Boba Fett's got the dark saber in there somewhere.
yeah. Mhm.
Oh, and we've got. Wait, did you not watch the Book of Boba Fett yet?
I have seen it. Yeah, I
Okay,
watched that after the second season of Mandalorian. Then, because that's what they
perfect,
said. My mates told me to watch that, and I was like, that makes sense. So yeah,
perfect, cool.
so yeah,
All right, we will move on.
yeah.
I could go on forever.
Same.
This one, I love this one
Yeah,
for a lot of reasons. It's. I guess the word is what's the word I'm looking for? Um, what's the word? It's just okay. Everything is just perfectly framed, and the colors are all fit. Like all the
yeah,
use of space is perfect, and the lighting,
yeah. So
what
this is a weird one. So it looks like it's
composition?
kind of yeah.
That's the word.
So it looks like he's like in a city, like on the chase, like going off
Yeah,
some ramp.
totally.
But the background is just a black hoodie with some random Christmas lights hanging on my detolfs. I just blurred it. That's
Really?
all it is. That's all that is. So yeah,
So the background is just the
yeah.
background of your
Clothing and
room.
some lights. Yeah, clothing and some lights. Yeah,
That is so cool. That's inspiring, to be
yeah,
honest. It
yeah.
just shows this is what you can do with just what you got. And to be honest, I had no idea. I thought you were gonna say that you added this in with generative fill or something.
No, this wasn't that. The only thing generative fill I had to kind of change was one of the stands was getting in the way where the wheel was being held, and it just made it look wonky. I couldn't really
Okay.
delete it properly, so I just like deleted it, and then I just added a bit of generative fill, and it fixed the mechanics of the bike. So yeah,
Right, right.
yeah,
Perfect. Perfect. That is so cool. That's very inspiring.
yeah,
And also the little bits of light that are like like the headlight looks really great, and the eyes on
yeah,
um Spider Noir.
yeah. I did a
Uh
little bit of motion blur as well, just on one wheel. I tried to do it on the other wheel, but it didn't look clean, so I just
yeah,
kept it
the
on the
motion blur is
same.
great. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, it makes him feel like that the direction he's moving in,
yeah,
but it's not too much. That is so cool. The stinking background. I'm so
Mhm.
impressed. I
Yeah,
never would have, even when I'm looking at it, trying to find the hoodie and your shelves and stuff. I don't
yeah.
see it.
It's like so the hoodie is like folded over, like a bit of I've got like this white thing that I use as a background, it's like a bit of wood. So the
Mhm.
hoodie's folded over that, and then above that, where my detolfs are, I just hang little like strip lights, little lights, and they just blurred together. Like one's in like a bunch, like a ball, the other one's like in a straight line, and just they really like made that bokeh look when I like blurred
It
them
did.
out with a
It did.
camera.
And what lens are you using?
The 50 mm lens, the with
Oh,
the 1.8 f-stop. So yeah,
even more inspiring too. That
yeah,
is so cool because that lens is great, and it's also like it's incredibly relative to other lenses. It's incredibly affordable.
yeah, it's great.
It's
Yeah,
incredibly affordable. I was at Best Buy the other day, just farting around,
yeah,
and they have because I use a Sony Alpha 3,
yeah.
and so they had the Sony Alpha 4 on
Nice.
display, and every time I go in there, I mess with it,
Yeah.
and it's man, it's got a whole lot of things better with it than mine, and the
That'll be my
lens
next
on it.
purchase, I think. A Sony DSLR.
Really, I mean,
Yeah,
you're doing fantastic work with what you've got, but and the lens on it too was something I'd probably use more with filming the YouTube videos than for toy
yeah.
photography. But man, I was just like, oh, man, I would love to just get this set right here. But the camera itself was like 3,000,
Oh, yeah,
and the
that's a
lens
lot.
was like 1,500. It's like, well,
Damn.
maybe not right now.
Yeah, damn.
And
Hmm.
I'm sure I could probably find it better priced than Best Buy.
Yeah,
Um,
probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You guys don't have Best Buy over there, right? Is that
No,
no?
no. We
Okay.
have like it's called B and M's, B and M's, like a
Okay.
cheap kind of place, or like yeah, I don't know. Like is Best Buy like a I don't know, is it like a normal shopping mall or
No,
what?
it's like a it's specifically for like electronics, and but they
Okay,
also have like house stuff like appliances,
Okay.
but it's mostly for like TVs, computers,
Okay. So
that
we
kind
have
of
a place called Curry's, PC World Curry's. That's what we have
Okay,
then. That's the equivalent. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It's all right. And they sell action figures too. Sometimes I'll go
Oh,
in and
cool.
check to see.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah, man, I would love to pick that up.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually. Okay, so Nat Boy is right with you.
Yeah.
Curries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Curries. All right.
Yeah.
Is Curry's also, for the most part, probably overpriced compared to where you could just
Um,
go somewhere else?
Usually it's decently priced. I get my gaming PCs from there.
Okay,
But yeah, it's really, I think it's decent. I've always gone there for electronics. They do
cool.
like tablets, TVs, like house stuff as well, like irons and fridges and all that crazy stuff. So yeah. So yeah.
Nice. Okay. That's another thing if you're kind of like thinking about getting a camera or a lens.
Mm.
If you like go into somewhere like Best Buy or Curry's, I guess, and most of the time they'll have the camera models on display and you can
Yeah.
mess with them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't have any battery, but
Yeah.
sometimes they do. And you can really kind of mess with it and check out to see if it's got what you want. And,
Yeah.
because sometimes it's hard to know what you want as the next camera or lens, because especially if you're not like familiar with it already.
Yeah. So what is like the jump from the EOS 250D that I've got from Canon to the one you've got? What is like the differences that make it the
To
shots look different or
to be honest, there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole so the Sony I have does have a little bit more of a shutter speed.
okay.
You can get higher. You can get like 8,000 shutter, which is still a little bit extra.
Okay.
But the Sony Alpha is also really it's better in my use so far for filming, like
Okay.
for the YouTube and stuff. It's really great for
Gotcha.
that. But to be honest, like that 250D that you have is like it's
It's
pretty
great.
awesome. It's
Yeah, it's
pretty
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just me or not, but I remember when I first made the switch to a Sony, um, I could feel and see just like I felt like I was zooming in on my photos more, and I'm like, wow, that looks way better than it did
Yeah.
before. But who knows? Maybe I just had better lighting at the time or something. But
Yeah. Fair one.
I don't think necessarily that if you take the jump from Canon to Sony, you're making an upgrade. I think it's just like I think it's just a preference, really.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Because honestly, you could probably use that Canon you've got forever, and then
Yeah.
still watch your work get better and better and better and better.
Which Canada do you use? I remember you had one with like on your videos with like the colored like body.
The 250D. I started out with a Rebel Canon Rebel T6, and I broke
Okay.
that. I
Okay.
accidentally dropped it in a waterfall. I
All
broke
right.
it.
Yeah.
So I bought that one you have, the
Oh right. Oh,
250D,
cool.
and
Nice.
the thing that really turned me on about it was the screen being able to flip
Yeah.
it around and stuff, which
Yeah.
is wildly helpful,
Yeah.
especially when you're putting your camera on the ground.
And using a remote. I use a remote as well with different lighting and stuff to like.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's
It's
so
good.
cool. But yeah, I've still got that 250D, and sometimes if I ever need like two actual cameras set up, I'll
Yeah.
bring that one up.
Nice. Nice.
Cool. All right, that's really good to know. Oh yeah, Andrew was for the same. He was using the same, I think, camera I was using too. Need to start using my T7 for videos instead of my phone. Camera on my phone sucks. Like filming BTS and stuff. Honestly, I use my phone for filming a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, I use it for my BTS. I have like a Samsung phone, nothing special. Just to show people what it looks like before I edit it, which sometimes it's like night and day. Like the original photo, like even the one I've got with Pennywise and the Stormtrooper, like that was a green lightsaber from an Acolyte figure, and there was no background. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the just using the phone to film is sometimes better and more convenient. The only thing that's kind of a struggle with me with using my phone right now is it just gets filled up with with videos and stuff that I'm like, I don't want to delete this, but
Yeah, fair one.
but yeah, using the phone is great.
Yep.
It's really,
But
really
when I
great.
go to conventions and stuff, my girlfriend, she takes photos and videos with her iPhone and just sends them to me because they're such good quality with an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is, and audio quality is pretty good too.
yeah, yeah.
It's pretty good. All right, so I've got a couple questions that I wanted to ask.
Yep.
Actually, uh, I asked the questions on Instagram, and I think I put it up a little bit too late. I think, but by the time I was getting ready to start the stream, no one had responded yet. So, but
No
I've
worries.
got a lot of really great questions, and I also want to make sure anyone who's here in the chat, please throw any questions you have in the chat. Would love to answer. That would actually be really amazing. So if anyone's got anything, hey Localos, thanks for coming in. But so one question I have is, so we're talking about um, where do you get your figures? So my question is, how many do you think you've gotten this year?
Oh,
How many figures do you think you have gotten this year?
damn, I wish I could show you guys my collection, but I've got so many. So with Marvel Legends, I've always liked Marvel Legends. And leaving the army, I left with a medical discharge because I got injured. So they gave me some money, and a lot of that money went towards just buying Marvel Legends, and I must have bought hundreds, just for the best prices I could find them for, like loose, used.
Great. Yeah.
But that was like September to December 2023. This year, I probably bought over 100, maybe 200 figurines or figures. So yeah,
Just this year.
just this year, yeah. A lot of Mezco, Mafex, Marvel Legends, Black Series,
Nice.
and just like miscellaneous stuff as well. Like I've got loads of random miscellaneous stuff. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
definitely in the hundreds. Yeah,
in the hundreds this year. I'm trying to think of how many. This year I've probably acquired more figures in a year than I ever have because of the whole everything with YouTube.
yeah,
But yeah, it's got to be in the hundreds for me
yeah,
as well, probably.
yeah. And I don't regret it at all. I love it. It's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But I wonder, next year you get another 100, and you're gonna be like, man, I'm kind of digging this Mafex of Spider-Man more than the Marvel Legends now. Should I get rid
Yeah.
of the Marvel Legends? Like,
I tend to do that. I tend to sell the stuff I don't want and kind of get some of the money back, and then just
Great.
purchase a better figure or something like that, or usually save the money. But yeah,
Yeah, that's great. Great way to do it. All right, so Andrew, I was saving this question too because I love this question, and this is totally yours. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he totally made this one up, or at least
that's
he
a good
gave me
question.
the idea. If you were an action figure, what accessories would you come with?
Well, I think one thing, coming from a military background, I don't like military figurines like GI Joes, like the Punisher. I'm not into it. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. So
Interesting.
if I was a figure, I would be, It's a good question. That's a good question.
What accessory do you think you would come with? Like, what's I don't know, what's something that, like, I know you said you were drinking espresso. Is that
Yeah, I'd have an
is that a
espresso.
coffee? Okay.
I have a middle finger extra
nice.
hand because I get bad road rage when I drive. And yeah, probably some sunglasses. I like to wear sunglasses a lot in summer.
Cool.
I've had so many concussions over the years. Light in my eyes just not good.
Okay.
So sunglasses.
So would that be an interchangeable head with
Yeah.
sunglasses on them, or would it just be an accessory you can put on?
Interchangeable head with longer hair, slick back hair. I used to have long hair.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Nice.
Interchangeable head, a flip off hand, and a coffee, and maybe some headphones as well to protect my ears.
Those are great. I would like all of those. I love the sunglasses one and the middle finger interchangeable. That's really great.
Yeah.
That's really great. Cool. Okay. Awesome answers. I feel like mine would be like my two cats as an accessory. Probably like a hat or something.
Yeah. Awesome.
And I guess a boring answer would be a camera or something too, but I feel like that's boring.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Great answer. Anthony says, one question, what's a good Godzilla figure to start shooting photos? Have you started getting any Godzilla stuff?
I do want a Godzilla figure, but I just don't know which one to get. The Monster Arts in UK is too expensive.
Oh man,
it's rare to find. It's really overpriced. So I don't know which one to get really for a good price. Forbidden Planet had the Super 7 one, but
okay, yeah, Super 7. They don't have. as big of a selection of different Godzillas, but they have a few,
Yeah,
especially like Godzilla -1, stuff like that. But Hiya Toys seems to be the number one Godzilla uh, brand
I have to
right
check
now.
them out. So I'd like a Kong as well to go
Yeah,
with
they've
him.
got Kong too. They mostly seem to be doing like the newer MonsterVerse stuff, but
Yeah,
there is a few like older Toho Godzillas. I'm also quite new to the Godzilla world too, but I've been kind of saturating myself in it lately.
nice,
Yeah, I've been really getting into Godzilla a lot lately. But
awesome.
so yeah, I would say Hiya Toys for sure. Go with the
Okay,
Hiya
cool.
Toys,
I'll
Anthony.
definitely give that a look.
Cool. All right. Thanks for the question, man. And so Go Figure Go says, I want to hear more about the Mezco stuff. All right. Well, we got one Mezco right here.
Yeah, that's the
That
Nisco Superman. Yeah,
have you picked up any other Mezcos?
the
Actually,
Pennywise. I've got Pennywise. Yeah, John Constantine. That shot I actually really don't like. I just don't
really?
like that shot. No,
I
not
love
at
the
all.
lighting. I love the just
I
around the figures.
Yeah, because it that's what it would be like in a kind of bar. Like it'll be quite dark where the people are talking because of like it's like privacy.
Right.
You just can't see the detail on them that I wanted them to like have. I just don't like it. But I just uploaded it anyway because it's like it reminds me of Fight Club. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm totally feeling that. So yeah, lots of Mezco stuff.
yeah. Then my newest one is the Pennywise electrocuting the stormtrooper. That was my most recent
Yeah,
Mezco.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah. I love
soft
that
goods on
figure.
that look great.
Yeah, I've got a photo planned with him as well. Someone might take this idea, but I'll mention it. So obviously, in the It films, Pennywise feeds off fear, and
Right.
obviously, kids are easily scared by clowns. So I'm like, I love the multiverse. So what if Pennywise was like Willy Wonka of the chocolate factory? So all these kids get the tickets to go to the factory, and it's Pennywise there. Do you know what I mean? That would be a
That's a
film.
that's a
Yeah,
great idea. That's a
yeah.
really great idea.
So I've got to build the chocolate factory diorama and then have him. So
Oh
yeah,
my god, cool. All right.
yeah,
Nice. This is a great shot, by the way. I love the way the lightning is kind of lighting up the trooper.
yeah.
The lighting on him. I love that. That's a really great touch.
Yeah, that was just the dodge tool, and then I got the image off of like a stock image website with the lightning and just kind of blended it in there and warped
Nice.
it a bit.
It
So
worked
yeah,
great. Yeah, it worked out
yeah.
really great.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
Speaking of Mezco and Godzilla, but yeah, there's the 3 foot tall Mezco Godzilla that does exist. And I saw it. I was at New York Comic Con recently,
nice.
and yeah, they had it there, and it was pretty awesome. And I was like,
Nice.
wow, I didn't realize that it was this big. It's huge.
But yeah, didn't they release like this new Mythic Legions dragon as well, which is like 6 foot long or something?
It did just get revealed at Legion's Con
Yeah,
last weekend. I saw it in person. It's big. It's
it
like
looks massive. Yeah,
it's yeah. You would have to like. It's huge. It's
yeah.
almost too big. Like, what the heck are you gonna do with that?
Yeah, that's going to be expensive, I think.
Yeah, they have not revealed the price, but yeah. Nat Boy says, "Who wins a battle royale between Superman, Homelander, and Omni Man?" Can't think of many questions. Haha. Obviously Superman.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But like, hopefully Superman comes out the end of it because he's the good guy.
Right. Well,
But
I think Homelander instantly gets smoked.
yeah,
Homelander is powerful amongst the other boys' characters, but like
yeah.
Homelander's not that. I mean, the I think about this all the time.
Hmm.
But like if you watch some of the episodes where Homelander is fighting other people like of his strength, the
Yeah,
surroundings around him are not nearly he's just like in houses sometimes, and it's like
yeah,
they're totally intact. It's just like his power level is
exactly.
far below. I think Superman would pack
Yeah,
him up, like I've
yeah.
heard people say.
Omni
But
Man would be tough as well to get down.
yeah, I guess I'm not really. I don't know how much stronger he is, but I guess he's been around for hundreds of years, which makes him
He's like
strong, right?
Superman's power level, but Homelander's personality, but he covers it up quite well. Like he hides his psychopathic traits really well.
Totally. Yeah, he totally does. But like, I feel like I wouldn't. I don't know how. Like, I don't know how much stronger he might be than he seems like Superman level, but maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's
Superman,
hard to judge. Yeah,
Superman all day. I feel like
yeah.
that's an easy one.
Just a quick one, Jared. Is my mic cutting off at all? It's going red. I'm not sure if it's cutting
No,
off.
you sound great.
Cool,
You sound
awesome.
great.
Awesome.
Loculo says, what is more annoying in a figure, heavy plastic cape or loose articulation? Oh,
That's a good one.
yeah. What do you think?
Loose articulation, definitely, because with a heavy plastic cape, you can still pose it with a stand or fix it in a position. But loose articulation, if you've got a shoulder you want to pose, just going to fall
Yeah,
down. That sucks.
I agree. I think, yeah, if you have articulation that's really loose, that can sometimes be it can totally condemn a figure
Yeah,
and sometimes make it unusable. But
definitely.
plastic cape isn't totally ideal, but you can work with them.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, they're easy enough.
cool. That's a really fun question. So
That's a good
I
one.
would, yeah. And plus, you can always take off a cape and make one if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
true.
It's kind of hard to strengthen joints.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about Godzilla. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Playmates Godzilla. Those are the ones that you can like find at like this at the store, like Walmart
Okay.
will have Playmates. And honestly, those don't seem too bad. I feel like you could probably still do quite a bit with those.
Cool.
Natboy also asks, any tips on building a diorama?
Depends on what kind of diorama. There's a lot of people that are better than me at doing it. I just literally got some cardboard, some wallpaper off a floor and brick walls on the Amazon, just glued it together and just cut out window holes. That was all I did. So it's really simple, really cheap. And then
Came out great.
people who do that to a better level than me sell it on eBay for like 5 times the price, and it sells as well, like really good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's like, I mean, I'm certainly no expert either. But I have made a couple. They're not super great, but yeah, something like doing that with the paper and the windows is
Yeah.
a great place to start.
Yeah.
And then
It's fun.
if you feel like moving on, I don't know, you can get like the different types of foam that you can
Yeah.
sculpt and stuff. I'm so clueless with that. I've never
Same.
dealt
Yeah.
with foam or anything.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of people out there that are good at it that could probably really point you in some great directions.
Yeah. There are lots. Yeah.
Yeah. Comic Dad. I only have 22 Mezco figures.
That's more than me.
Only
Yeah.
22. I
That's
don't
more
have a
than
whole
me.
lot of Mezco, to be honest. I've only maybe got like 4.
I've got about maybe 12 or 15 off the top of my head. So yeah, definitely not 22. So yeah.
So I've got 2 Supermans. I've got a Wolverine, Mezco. What the heck else do I have? I don't really have that much Mezco.
Yeah, I've got random. I like the Rumble Society. I've got pretty much all of them.
Yeah, those guys are cool. I haven't dove into any of those guys.
Yeah, they're just awesome. That's my kind of thing. Like just pure imagination, just characters from their imagination. Is just
I love that.
Cool. So, yeah.
And plus they don't have to pay any kind of licensing fees on those either. It's just their own creations. Love that. That's so
literally,
cool. T13 says, I love action figures, but I either get AliExpress ones or 3D printed ones. Hey, I mean, if you're on a tight budget, I mean, the T13, there you go. You can find one of those for like $1 on Amazon. So
yeah,
that's great. Whatever works, you know.
Yeah, AliExpress is good for some action. I get a lot of my NECA stuff that's not released in England yet from there, and it's legit.
Yeah. There's plenty of legit things on AliExpress. You just got to make sure you're buying from the right seller.
Yeah, definitely. And then some knockoffs are good, like the CT toys. I have the Spider-Man 2099 from the movie. I have him CT toys. It's a great figure.
Yeah, CT is putting out great boots. It's kind of crazy to me that, and I guess maybe I just don't understand it, that they can have like, how are they legally okay with having their own branded bootlegs?
I know, it's strange unless there is a deal there.
It seems like an
middleman lets it happen.
Huge contradictions. Like our own brand of bootleg. It's like, well, bootlegs are already like stealing from someone else's brand. And how do you have your own brand of making other brands things? Like, how does that even make sense?
Unless there's definitely some corruption there. Like,
yeah,
they're letting them do it for a percentage. They'll get profits from it as well, like the original licenses.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But still, too, it's like if they're making a bootleg off of a Mafex figure, it's not just Mafex that they've got to deal with. They've also got to deal with Disney, who owns like I just like, maybe they're
imagine
just
it's purely illegal, and we're just buying it, thinking it's great. It's
yeah,
like everything about it's illegal.
maybe they're just falling under the radar. But hey,
Yeah,
we're just consumers, so they're the ones that are going to get in trouble if they get in trouble, not us. So
exactly. Yeah,
that's just it's really crazy to think about. It's
yeah,
very curious to know how that works. Cheese Whiz asks a great question. Says, "What is up, guys? Nothing really.
yeah.
Just chilling. Thanks for coming in,
You
Cheese
know,
Whiz.
I'm on my nighttime routine, so I do night shifts mainly. So like this is
Right.
my daytime now. So I'm up until 6 in the morning.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. You said you were just leaving work. A couple hours ago.
yeah, yeah.
Man.
And that was an earlier shift as well. Usually I do 6 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, we look after some. He's a football dude, so he's like a shares holder. So we just constantly look after his house. And on the nighttime, you can just literally just watch movies and just check the cameras every now and then. So that's how I got through The Mandalorian. Every now and then, just
Okay.
whack on an episode.
Cool.
Yeah.
In that line of work, do you often end up being able to just chill for a while, or does it
Not
ever?
really. When I was in London, that was very busy, very full on.
Cool.
Just I don't know how to say it without sounding like cheesy, but it's like imagine the Man on Fire without the guns. That's all it is.
Okay.
Driving around, doing crappy little things. A lot of it's pointless, but
It's like
you get good money.
personal security, right?
Literally, yeah, just all ex-military guys. So yeah, it's like it's like I haven't even left the forces. I'm around guys, similar experience and stuff, and it's just great. So yeah.
Interesting. So, are you an employee of a?
Yeah, so they employ. I'm self-employed, so they'll employ me
Okay.
based on my experience. So yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're independent. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I know nothing about that, so it's very interesting to me. That's
And they
really
all
cool.
know I collect action figures and take photos of it. They all like my Instagram stuff, so they say I'm a huge nerd, and they never expected me to be into that. Looking at me,
Right.
I'm like, I'm a massive
Totally.
geek. So yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. I think that's super cool. It makes me think of the beginning of the first Taken movie where Liam Neeson is like personal security to
Yeah.
the pop star
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, it's
cool.
the same. Yeah.
It's awesome, man. All right. Lokilos says, do you guys use camera filters for your toy pics? And if yes, which do you recommend?
What does he mean by filters? As in,
I think like the filters you can put on a lens and
Oh.
will kind of like make something like it'll give you the ability to have certain settings in a situation that you wouldn't normally because of the light, and it kind of like either
Okay.
harshens the light or
I
hinders
know
the
what you
light
mean.
a little bit or something.
Yeah. Kind of like different sunglasses to reduce.
Yeah, kind of.
I actually don't use any of those. I just do that kind
never
of filter
have.
stuff. I shoot in RAW, and I just do the camera RAW filter, and that does the job, I guess.
Cool.
So, yeah. So,
Yeah, I've never used one ever before. The main thing I've wanted to get one for is for like something with light painting, because without using like a filter, if you want to do light painting like in the daylight, you can't really because it'll be too bright. So like if you wanted to do like super long exposure like waterfalls or something,
Yeah.
you would have to do that like at night because
Okay. Yeah.
if you would, your shutter speed being so long, it would be so bright. But you can put like a filter over, so it
Yeah.
darkens it up. So then you have the ability to slow things down, and that's been the only kind of desire I've had to try one, but I never have.
Yep. Me neither. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, Localo, sorry, not a really great answer for you, but if you, it's definitely something I'm interested in for sure.
Localo should get one and tell us how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can ask you the question.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. What's the most expensive figure you have, and is there a max price to buy a figure?
Most expensive. Probably the HasLab Galactus. That's the most expensive figure I have.
Makes sense.
Because I actually bought that secondhand. I didn't buy it by backing it. I got it from Amazon, and the price on that is crazy.
Really?
I did it in installments, so like over a year. I broke it down.
Right.
That's the most expensive thing I own. But the max price, I'd go Depends what it is. I don't know. Hot Toys. I'm getting a Hot Toys for Christmas. I know which one it is, but I won't tell the person that I know what it is.
How do you know?
Uh,
How did you figure it out?
I don't know. It's just the person's very like aware of things I look at when we go shopping, and if I go to something more than once, I know that's on the list. So I purposely do that sometimes to like hope, but yeah, I know it's. I don't want to say it because she'll probably be watching this, but yeah, it's my girlfriend as well. So yeah,
Well, she sounds great for being that caring so much about you to watch what you're doing to make sure she gets a
and the
great
best
gift
thing
for you.
about her is she loves the figure photography. She loves going to Comic Con. She got her own little collection as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, she's
It's
brilliant. But yeah, most I pay for a figure now probably 250 maximum. So,
totally. Yeah.
Mm.
I think my most expensive figure is I have a 3-0 power armor figure from Fallout,
Awesome.
and I bought it not brand new because at the time they didn't. There were only a couple like retail ones available at the time,
Yeah.
so I really wanted the T60,
Yeah.
and I spent like $450 on it on eBay.
Worth it though.
Yeah,
Worth
it was.
That figure's incredible.
And it was right around the time in 2020 where Americans got a stimulus check during
Okay.
COVID, and it was like $1,200. So everyone had a little bit extra cash
Oh,
around
nice.
that time, and so
That's
that's what I
awesome.
spent mine on.
Nice. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, right.
Of course.
Yeah, love that figure. But man, how much the max I would spend? I guess it does depend, because if there's something out there that's so incredible to me, I would save up a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah. Same as me. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Austin. Cool. I'm glad you finally got it. W. Awesome, man. All right, let's see. Oh, so what's your pinned in on? Did you see the last Venom movie? Venom:
Yeah.
The Last Dance.
Me and my partner took her daughter to watch it because she loves Venom. I've got her some Marvel Legends for Christmas.
Nice.
She won't be watching this, so she'll never know until Christmas Day. And she really liked it. She got upset because of what happens. I don't know if people haven't seen it. Like, I don't want to spoil anything. Overall, for me,
Fair.
I fell asleep for 5 minutes, and I got woken up with an Alvo. But I didn't really enjoy it, if I'll be honest. I really like Tom Hardy, but for me, he's not Eddie Brock, like from the comics. It's not
Yeah,
the same.
totally.
Not the same
Yeah.
for me. So, yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it too, and I thought it was really good actually, and I heard a lot of bad things about it, and I thought it was just as good as the others.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was just so tired, so I fell asleep. But what I did see from it, I love the symbiotes, all the different symbiotes coming together. That was awesome. That was
Yeah,
so cool.
the third act of the movie is awesome, like
Yeah.
crazy awesome action
That is cool.
sequence, like, and it looked, the special effects are really good, really
Yeah.
great.
Definitely. I like Null. Null's cool. So hopefully they bring him into the MCU and there's like some kind of expansion on that.
Yeah,
Because they
I'm
can go
in.
a long way with that. Yeah.
I'm totally in.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I've got 2 questions for you.
Yep.
So one of them being, what is an action? I guess we already kind of talked about this. What's an action figure that we don't have yet, or a character that we don't have as an action figure that you would like to be made into an action figure?
Well, there's one I have, because you've mentioned it before, and I've always thought, yes, which is the NECA Grinch. Like,
Yeah.
that's just a good idea. Like the Grinch
Jim
from
Carrey.
NECA would be amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
And
right.
then just any company, preferably Super 7, doing Ed, Ed and Eddie. That's for me. Then I'm happy with my collection. Then I'm happy. So yeah.
Man, yeah, that would be Super 7. Pick up that Cartoon Network.
They have to. They just have to.
Yeah,
Who
they've had
even has the license to that? I don't even know.
Right. Who owns all that? Because I know like Paramount owns Nickelodeon and that whole, but who owns Cartoon Network? Is that a Warner Brothers thing?
I don't know. Yeah. I think Warner Brothers owns Boomerang. They used to. That used to be a thing, Boomerang. I don't know what Cartoon Network's owned by, but they just need to do it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we're speaking it into existence. Yeah.
Hopefully they're watching the stream.
Yeah. Okay. And so, where do you see yourself as a toy photographer in 5 years from now?
5 years, personal goals with it. So like 1 year from now, I'd like to have 1,000 followers. That was my main goal. Just 1,000 is a good number. And in 5 years' time, hopefully expand so much that like, like yourself, you get noticed by companies. They send you stuff to take photos of, so you feel like you're getting the maximum out of it. Like promoting a product, there's financial implications of that, which good, like positive implications. You're getting paid to do it.
Yeah,
So that's like the end goal, really. Like I'd love to just promote my stuff but mainly I'm doing it just for the creativity, like my imagination onto a screen.
totally.
And I just love people enjoying and liking and supporting what I do. That is the main thing.
Cool.
But yeah,
I mean, I feel like you're gonna be hitting those goals way sooner than that. I mean, the 1,000 followers thing, you're gonna be there ASAP. And I put your Instagram back in the front here. If you're not already following Cole, his Instagram, Cole's Cave, I got it also linked in the video description, so it'll take you right there.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that. Pretty please.
Thanks to everyone who does as well. And I return the favor as well. If I like what they do, I return the favor.
Cool. Awesome. And the getting noticed, you already have been. I mean, Super 7, that you said that they've liked some of your stuff already, right?
Yeah, Super 7. And then also at Comic-Con, I met Dwight Stoll. Really got along with him. He followed me. He asked for my Instagram in person, which was like, what the hell? I was like, this has made my day.
Awesome.
Just from asking him genuine questions, not just about Marvel Legends, but just the future of action figures and like what are the kids growing up now going to be like when they're our age? Like what are they going to be holding compared to like the best thing we have now? And
right,
just a genuine connection. And there's a photo on Instagram you can see there. He gave my partner a free Marvel Legend of Spider-Man for Ava, my partner's daughter, to spark that Marvel Legends collector in her, and she loves it.
That's so cool.
Dwight Stoll's an amazing guy, genuine, like down to earth guy. So yeah,
nice.
A lot of respect.
Sounds like it.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's all it takes, when they need somebody, because those toy companies will need people like us, whether it be just for photos or just for social media stuff. And, if they've noticed you, they'll come to you if they
hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, I'd love to do some kind of anything minimal with Hasbro in the UK. I'll do anything free of charge just to be involved in that community. Yeah.
Well, don't tell them that, because then they'll.
They'll probably hire me for security anyway and pay me in action figures. So I'm like, that's fine.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's awesome, man. Really great answers, of course, all of that stuff. And thanks for coming on. Thanks for being you. Like I legitimately am looking forward to watching more and more of your work come out and seeing new stuff from you.
I'm doing a photo. I'm going to do a photo tonight as well with the Plunderling, with little figures. So yeah.
I'll be looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Is there anything else you want to plug or anything to mention before finish it up?
Off the top of my head, no. One thing. So I've always looked at your photos with exposure. You get the exposure like spot on. Is that just with the right lighting? Because I don't know if the Canon is taking in more light. So like I notice you put your Lume cubes very close and it doesn't overexpose. When I do it, it's like super, super bright. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong.
Okay. Well, a lot of the time for me, I shoot with like my shutter speed is already really fast because I'm just I usually will shoot stuff where like there's some type of moving effect, whether it be like dirt or fireworks. So like by default, my shutter speed is most of the time already pretty fast. So I would usually have to turn it slower as opposed to turning it faster because I'm just it's already there, which means that's going to make it darker. So my lights are usually super close.
That's awesome. So I didn't really know that. So I'm going to try and do that as well because it just looks better. It makes the rim lighting look better. So I have my lights like way far away to like try and get good rim lighting. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, and that will look great. And I think the positives of doing it that way, like making things dark on your camera and then brightening things up with more lights is you can really get like harsh lines, but at the same time not necessarily totally overexposing things. You can get those really harsh lines. Awesome. Or at least for me, I'm sure there's other great ways to achieve those harsh lines that there's tons of ways to achieve stuff like that, but that's but that is mostly just because I'm already used to having a fast shutter speed. So like Sometimes
Cool.
I'll be like, "You shot that at 800? Why?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It was already there, and it worked out."
Yeah,
Or
it
something.
makes sense. Yeah, it looks great. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Okay. Well, great. I'm glad that helped. Um,
awesome.
cool. Well, all right, man. Thanks again for
Yeah,
everything. And if, like I said, make sure you give Cole a follow. Thank you everybody for watching and for being in here. Comic Dad, appreciate you. Everybody, Austin, appreciate you. And have a
yeah.
great night, everyone. I'll
I saw a good question there as well. You said someone said pick a shot for me to do. What?
Oh,
Yeah,
Austin. Okay, pick a shot. All right, well, he's got Venom on there
yeah.
as his
Any
picture.
ideas? If anyone wants to DM me ideas, I'll like use their ideas and make sure I reference them. This is their idea on my
Okay,
Instagram. So yeah.
that's a great idea. That's a great
So
idea.
so
Okay,
Austin,
well,
just DM me.
take
Yeah,
him up on that.
yeah.
Cool. Have a great night, everybody. And thanks again. Talk to everybody later. See ya.